And welcome back to the Morning Brew here on Brew Sports. Time now to move along with the program and get into the baseball side of things. Opening day, just a couple of days away, Jamie. Sunday is the triple header opening day sort of a thing, and then the rest of the league catches up on Monday for the real official opening day. Are you going to Milwaukee Brewers opening day this year?
I am.
You are?
Yep.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Is it a tradition that you do, or is this the first time you're going, or?
No, there's a group. One of my friends and I, we go to a lot of different sporting events together. She's the only one of my friends that really tolerates it. So we've made like 4 years, or this will be our third, I think. Third or fourth that we've gotten together. So I guess you could say it's a little tradition.
A little tradition. Well, that's exciting. Well, one of the gentlemen that knows a lot about the baseball world is one of our baseball correspondents. That is Brennan Mense, and he joins us now on the Morning Brew. A very good morning to you, Brennan. How are we doing this morning?
Tired.
Tired? You say you look a little tired there, Brennan. But
I woke up about half an hour ago now, so
well, that's
I'm slowly
nice.
getting there.
That's good. I mean, I've been up for 2 hours, so I mean, I guess
I'm sorry.
Hey, someone's got to keep this show and network chugging along here. Jamie and I do what we can for the good of the people. But Brendan, are you excited about opening day? Just a couple of short days away.
Oh, of course I'm excited about it. I'm the type of guy that, like, the second the World Series ends, like, all right, well, there's this many days to opening day now, so now we're down to 2 days.
2 days. 2 days, 2 days. What are you the most excited about when you look at the first batch of games on opening day? Are there specific storylines or anything that you're looking forward to just about either Sunday or Monday's games?
I mean, not really any specific storylines when it comes to, like a game standpoint. Really, it's just having meaningful regular season baseball back. I mean, that's the storyline to me more than anything, I think.
How much are people going to be paying attention to the opening day performances, though? Isn't there a lot of just pomp and circumstance with that opening day? Like, does what happened on opening day really matter for a team going into the regular season?
I mean, it's one game out of 162, so the correct answer would be no, it really doesn't matter. But at the same time, how you start the season as a whole does matter. So, of course, just getting wins and losses where you can, it's going to help, and it's a lot easier to make a postseason run when you're getting off to a good start rather than getting off to a bad start and trying to make up for it later. Granted, in the overall scheme of things, what you do in the first week or two of the season might not matter as much, but at the same time, it's just common sense. You want to get off to that good start, and especially if you're a team that aspires to take that next step from, all right, maybe we finished around 500, but want to jump to playoff contention next year, getting out to a good start and staying hot is imperative.
Do you have a couple of those teams off the top of your head that you believe need said hot start to, change the way that their season didn't end the way they specifically wanted last season?
I mean, obviously, any team around the playoff race, and in particular, I look at teams that were kind of around that bubble last year, such as Kansas City, Seattle, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and a lot of those teams that were right around 500, maybe a little bit over 500, but still were fairly off from the playoff race last year and trying to get back to the postseason, because all those teams, with the exception of Seattle, had been to the postseason in recent years. So for them, it's just trying to get back. And also teams like Houston that kind of regressed last year as well, and maybe a team like the Colorado Rockies, who they have gotten off to good starts in recent years but faded after April, that are hoping to take that next step with an improved rotation as well, and teams of that sort, you could say.
They say that attendance and home field advantage is always so big in reasons of winning, which is why they alternate in playoff games or whatever you say. Do you feel that if these teams are winning the first game, that their attendance will stay high right off the bat, meaning that they'll play better because there's more people in the stadium? Or do you think that baseball is, stadiums are so big, it doesn't really matter that much at that point, whether a basketball game where there's only 20,000 people there?
I mean, for baseball, no. Opening day attendance, no matter what happens, is not going to affect the attendance for game 2 and 3, since I've been to, well, maybe not been to some, but observed this a lot. Like, when the Kansas City Royals were so bad 10 years ago when I was growing up. Didn't matter what they did on opening day, win or lose, they would sell out 40,000 plus on opening day, and next day there'd be 12 or 13,000. And that's kind of the way it was for the rest of April, no matter what happened. So honestly, I don't think it really starts mattering until the middle to later months of the season, your record affecting your attendance, really.
And honestly, just to kind of go off of that, I wanted to bring it up to the fact that I almost feel like because the attendance is almost skewing, the actual support for a team. I mean, people love to take a day off of work. I almost feel like opening day is more so overrated than it actually is productive for a team, because how many of those fans, as you mentioned, by a couple of days later, the stadium is half empty or even 3/4 empty. We deal with that here in Milwaukee. Opening day sold out every day, but you literally go to the next day. So when people go to the game Monday and then they go, game 2 of the series that we've got going on here, it's literally going to be half, if not 3/4 empty, because all the real fans are left at that point, and the people that took work off and just wanted to drink excessively have all gone back to their day jobs and be like, well, all right, baseball, I don't care anymore.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I think a lot of it's just fans that are ready to have baseball again, and I seriously doubt that there are that many people that will go to opening day and then not go to a single game the rest of the year. So, part of it's just the pageantry and just, yes, finally live baseball in my hometown. It's time. Let's do this. That's what it kind of is to me, is that sense of winter is finally officially over. It's time for baseball. I don't think it's overrated from a fan standpoint. I really don't. It never gets old to me.
I think the nice thing about baseball is to convince your friends to go. If they don't like it, you can always use, we'll tailgate together or whatever, and then they just go in the game and watch it, whether you love baseball or you're just someone that likes to tailgate. And Miller Park this year has added a bunch of new concessions and like a party zone outside,
okay.
And they have a bunch of craft beers on draft, which is weird because it's Miller Park. So all these things to attract more people. I think tailgating in itself is a big enough attraction. I obviously enjoy watching baseball.
Of course.
I enjoyed slamming a Miller Lite and eating a hot dog too.
Well, doesn't everybody? Do you think that baseball is trying to cater more to the millennial side of people nowadays, like by bringing in the craft beer, by trying to speed up the game? Is baseball trying to move away from those, those old glories of like, remember when, the Reds played and it was a, 15-inning game? Like, people almost don't care anymore about that. Nobody wants to stay around for that anymore. Like, do you think that baseball, and sports as a whole, but baseball specifically, is trying to trend more towards keeping the millennials more engaged on a daily, weekly basis, Brennan?
Oh yeah, that's of course where all sports are trying to go, is trying to make their fan base younger and younger any way they can, within reason, of course. And a lot of teams, going with craft beers or special areas for fans, being bars, restaurants, that kind of deal. Coming up with new food options or drink options, or just a variety of things that aren't directly related to the game itself, just to try to get more people in there. Like, all right, maybe this might be worth a shot. Maybe I can't exactly judge to say whether they have the right idea or not, because I'm the person that I'll go to a game no matter what kind of bells and whistles there are around the ballpark anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. But at the same time, I kind of see where they're coming from.
Fair enough. Do you have any games that you're going to be keeping an eye on opening day at all, Brennan? Are you going to be attending any at all based off of where you are geographically?
I will, when opening day, the April 2nd and 3rd, I will not be at any games. I will be at the Kansas City Royals home opener, though, on April 10th, so I'm looking forward to that.
All right, Brendan. Well, we appreciate you joining us this morning on the Morning Brew. Go back to bed, get some sleep, sir. You still look a little tired, but we appreciate you joining us this morning, and we look forward to having you back on the program here real soon. We'll talk to you soon, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, there goes Brennan Mense here on the Morning Brew. Good to hear from him. Good to get his insight as well. Some fun things back and forth. I really want to I mean, I'm not saying that I want to, but I really want to try to give baseball a half a chance this year, just because I know that it's such a focal point for so many people, whether it be you or just other people that are involved with the network as a whole. And I feel like it can be more enjoyable, but at the same time, there's just so much. Like, I literally am going to lose interest in baseball probably after this next week.
What do you not like about it?
I think it's just the pace of the game. I think,
Okay.
honestly, I find it very slow, and I find that there's not a lot going on. I mean, and that people make the same argument about soccer as well, too, but at least all 22 people on the field are moving at the same time, whereas baseball, it literally is one guy and one guy.
Right.
Like, I'm going to throw you the ball, you maybe will hit the ball, and then one other guy is going to react. Where in soccer, you literally need all 22 guys moving at the same time, whether they have the ball or not, trying to make a play happen. So I get when people are like, well, soccer's boring too. I'm like, yeah, but at least everybody's moving, not just sitting out in right field, scratching their groin and,
Right.
shooting, sunflower seeds out of their mouth because they've got nothing better to do with themselves for 8 innings. It's like, I don't find that entertaining personally.
Okay, I can get behind that. I understand.
Do I find the bottom of the ninth drama with bases loaded? Yes, that's fun. I enjoy that, but the game's not always like that.
Right.
And then people are like, well, 0-0 draws in soccer aren't fun either. I'm
Well,
like,
that's,
sure.
I mean, like you said, the bottom of the ninth, base is loaded. That's why you get excited. It's the same thing for any other sport. The games last weekend, they were all super close, and they were all basically buzzer beaters, and no one pays attention until the last 5 minutes of the game anyways.
Yes.
So it's the same thing in baseball. Most people go to tailgate. I don't know anybody that watches the game as intently as, like, my brother does when we go together. Like, I'm like, okay, I know I said I don't talk at sporting events with baseball. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Did you see what so-and-so? Because it's just...
What are you supposed to do at baseball games?
Right. So, I can understand why you don't really care for it.
Yes. I think an interesting idea would be to potentially just televise the last, 10 minutes of every game. Because people don't ever really want to watch the full game.
So when I go to people's houses and they have Brewers games on the background, like, they're all, like, sitting. My brother used to live with, like, all of his guy friends. They would just sit on the couch. Like, 5 of them would just stare and watch.
Literally just watch the game?
Yeah. I'm like,
Cool.
what do you guys... Let's go outside. Let's go take a walk.
Go throw a ball. Go have a catch. Go do something. Just do something with your life, man. You're better than that. A couple of people tossing in here. Robert says apparently the Diamondbacks are coming to Milwaukee in May. He said he would love to take my wife and I and you to a Diamondbacks game. Diamondbacks Brewers should be a fun little time. I liked the Diamondbacks back when Randy Johnson was on the team. So if Randy Johnson wants to come out of retirement, I would go and watch that. Aside from, I mean, it's a Diamondbacks game. No offense, but like, who cares? It's the Diamondbacks. But like I said, everybody supports their own team. So all power to you there on that one, Robert. Keith says. The tough thing for baseball is that they compete with the NBA and the NHL playoffs early on. Late in the season, they have to compete with the NFL. They only have about a month to themselves during the best time of the year to not sit and watch something. So yeah, I agree with that. You literally, maybe July is basically the only month that it's really baseball.
In August?
Well, that's when NFL preseason starts and NFL camp starts. So I mean, the NFL is a 365-day year league, of course, but like from an actual competing standpoint, like you can still get away with like baseball being king in July because football hasn't training camp hasn't started officially yet and preseason hasn't started yet for football. And notice how nobody makes an argument that soccer's going on over all this as well too. So it's like, well, what about soccer? Yeah, okay. Literally, folks, soccer, March to December, every year.
Woo.
Major League Soccer. Support your local Major League Soccer team. Anyway, I'm over it. Anyway, but yeah, Keith makes a good point though. Like baseball does have a tough competition because literally once the NFL starts, nothing else matters. Nobody else cares about anything else. And then all of a sudden, people become baseball fans again in like late October. Be like, are we going to the pennant? Like, I've been a Cubs fan the whole year. Like, have you? Like, I don't think that's true. Like, you have been busy complaining about the Bears or complaining about anybody else, and then all of a sudden your team is doing good, and you're like, well, yeah, would I become a Brewers fan if they were in the playoff race? Oh, absolutely. I'd be like, all right, Brewers. But I'd be the first one to be like, I haven't watched a single game all year, but hey, go Brewers.
I just hate that no one can admit that they didn't give a rat's behind about the Cubs until they made it to the World Series. Like,
it's true.
Name 5 people. I can't.
Of who?
What?
Name 5 who?
People from the Cubs. Like, not you. I'm saying, like, people.
I was trying to think in general.
No,
I was like, I don't know if I could. I think I can do 2. That's about all I can do.
I have friends that are like, I'm from Chicago, so I love the Cubs.
That's my favorite thing when people are like, "Oh, I'm born and raised in Chicago." Be like, "Where have been all your Chicago Cubs social media posts for the last entirety of your lifetime?" Nowhere. That's where.
I'm really mad.
I get it. People are like, "Oh, I rally around my team."
But just own up to it that you're
Don't be
either
a
a
fair weather
bandwagoner
fan.
or that you don't know anything about them.
Do
It's
not
okay
be
to be
a fair weather
proud.
fan.
It's okay to be proud that they won. But if you've never been to Wrigley, like, probably not that big of a Cubs fan.
No, shut your mouth.
Because it's baseball and it's affordable.
Literally, you can get a nosebleed seat at Wrigley for the price of admission to go to a movie, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I feel like movies are more expensive than to go to a Major League Baseball game.
I'm kind of mad they won the World Series just because this was the summer that we were going to get a group of friends to go down. Because I've never been to I've been to Wrigleyville, but I've never been to Wrigley.
I've never been to Wrigley, no.
So we looked at like Airbnbs and all that the other day, and I'm like, curse you.
Now that everything's skyrocketed because
Yeah.
they're actually decent. Sarah says, "Just tuned in and you were already dissing my favorite sport." I'm sorry, Sarah. Look, I'm not trying to diss your favorite sport.
Sarah
I'm just,
loves baseball.
and I find that interesting too because from a female perspective, I feel like they get behind two sports, football and baseball. Like from when you really break it down, like even the most casual, like Joe Blow, Sarah, on, not even this Sarah, but like whoever, like Rachel over there, Karen at the bar. Karen will tell you that the Brewers were able to win or lose last night, and she'll tell you that the Packers blew a fourth quarter lead, because Aaron Rodgers got sacked and fumbled. Like Karen will tell you that, but Karen doesn't give a crap about anything else. Like it's so interesting to me, and it's always just those two sports.
But I think they're the most common, so it's probably like she grew up around her brothers with her dad screaming at the TV kind of thing.
Yeah, well, of course, that's usually what it is, but like very rarely do you find, like I've really never met a hardcore female NBA fan, not to my knowledge. I know a couple
NBA?
of people, I know a couple that are like, oh, like, I know general things, but like not to the extent where it's like, oh my gosh, like the Brewers lost last night because, Craig Counsell made a bad pitching decision. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I know more women that are college basketball fans than NBA, but I think that just is said with everything.
Interesting. Bruce says, I like when they show baseball on the news and just cut all the best plays together. That's literally the only thing. Like when you really break it down, a 3.5-hour baseball game, there is 18 minutes of actual gameplay in a Major League Baseball game.
Baseball used to be my favorite sport because I understood it. It's like a good beginner sport.
It's really not rocket science. The only thing I don't understand is the infield fly rule. Don't understand that. So if someone wants to explain that to me, that'd be phenomenal. Only thing about baseball I really don't get, like, why does the ball like go super high in the infield and then they're like, well, you're out. I'm like, no one's even caught the ball yet. How are you out? Like, it's a live ball. I feel like you should be able to make it to the base. If they drop it, they drop it. Like, and what classifies that one ball that stays in the infield and the other ball that doesn't, and that's actually an out. So, somebody wants to help explain to me what an infield fly is. That'd be phenomenal.
One more thing about baseball that I used to never understand were those stupid liquid titanium necklaces that everybody wore 10 years ago. Like, what was that? Those were awful.
Calms you down. It calms you down,
those
apparently.
Are dumb.
It helps you focus your energy. We all got those little bands back in the day that were like, they like titanium energy. Like, I'm so like strong and fast. And
my high school boyfriend wore like 2 of them.
Nasty.
I'm like, you're dumb.
Yeah. Keith says his wife is a tour guide at Wrigley. Come on down.
I'm in.
Well, Keith, maybe this is unrealistic, but I've always been I'm one of those people that because I do work in broadcasting that I would rather go to stadiums for the first time as a broadcaster instead of a fan. Just because, like, I would rather, to an extent, I would rather be paid there. I would rather be paid. Just because I've always been more of I would rather tell the story than be a screaming drunk fan in the stands. I'd
rather be a screaming
That's just not who
drunk
Baxter
fan.
is, okay? That's just not who I am. Like, I would much rather, like, go to Wrigley Field as a baseball broadcaster, which I never would probably be because I'm not a big fan of it. Would I call baseball games? Sure, if the price is right, but I would rather call football and soccer and basketball games just because that's what I know more and I'm more passionate about. But, like, aside from going to Lambeau Field and maybe a handful of other places, I really haven't been to a lot of professional games. I feel like it's a common misconception about me at times. People are like, you must love sports. You must go to all the games. I'm like, I really don't. I've been to far more games as a broadcaster than I have been as a fan anywhere. It's just how it's worked out for me. People are kind of throwing a little bit more here at us. Sarah says, I followed the NBA alone until I started watching baseball and football. Then I stopped watching the NBA. Interesting. Sarah says, you don't intentionally drop it for a double play. Oh, we're talking about the infield fly, apparently. I still don't understand the infield fly out. I really don't.
I don't know either.
And Spencer says baseball is a buffer till football starts back up. It really is. Like, this is, like, your people are like, oh, baseball is America's pastime. Like, football is kind of America's pastime because it's, baseball was the catalyst for so long to get people fired up for sports as a whole, and then football came in and was like, we've got a bigger, better, grander product. Now we're going to take you over. And even though they play more games and play longer, people seem to really only care about the opening day, like a very small pocket, like opening day, and then they care about like World Series. Like nobody cares about the 162 games in between there.
Maybe it's because there's 162 games.
And I've been a huge component of saying shorten it. If you cut baseball games in half, or if you cut the season in half and you cut the games to 6 innings, I might actually watch. And I know everybody that's a true baseball fan just died and was like, to hell with Baxter, because he clearly doesn't care. But honestly, though, like if you want to keep people engaged or you want to actually have people care, that's why I love the NFL, like because it literally is 16 games. You make 1 or 2 bad mistakes and your season's done. I think that's great. I think that's more pressure. And people are always like, Ryan Braun for the Brewers, he just doesn't look like he cares. Well, yeah, because he's got to do this 162 times. I wouldn't care if I had to do something 162 times and then maybe would go to the playoffs.
Right.
I'd rather fight for 16 to 30 times and then really give it my all every single game. Personally, I would be much more involved in that as a player, too. That's maybe another reason why I didn't like baseball, because I'm like, there's way too much that goes into this to maybe make the playoffs. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather know, like, listen, I play 16 or I play 20 games, and I'm either in or I'm out. I don't want to be, 12 and a half games back in July and then suddenly figure out that we're going to make the playoffs in October because we went on a 14-game win streak. Like, it blows my mind. It really does. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Really doesn't like baseball.
I'm breaking down the general concept of baseball, though. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Do you enjoy the long season? Do you enjoy the fact that from like a playoff perspective, like it doesn't make sense to me?
I mean, I can't really say much because hockey goes from October to April.
It's true. But you guys play, 82 games?
Yeah.
I would, like I said, hockey, baseball, and NBA. I think if you cut all their seasons in half, I think people would be more interested to watch. That's why there's so many niche sports, because it's like, I'm a diehard baseball fan, because you literally don't have time to be a fan of anything else, because you have to focus on one thing for 162 plus games.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Makes sense.
So you were about to say something else, and I cut you off.
It's okay. I don't remember.
Have at it. You're like, do you? And then I was like,
I lost it.
Done nothing? Coffee?
I need some.
You can have a coffee.
I'm okay.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, but Spencer, I agree with you. Sarah, I agree with you. Robert says, fly rule is set in place when runners are on the base so the defending team doesn't intentionally drop the ball and throw out the player that was on first base at second base while the fly ball hitter is running to first base.
Say that one more time.
That was a lot. So a fly rule is set in place when runners are on the base so the defending team doesn't intentionally drop the ball and throw the player out that was on first base going to second. So if I'm batting and you're on first base and I hit a ball in the infield and you're running to second base, the team could not intentionally drop the ball so that way they could then get a double play.
Instead of just an out.
So instead of just a straight out.
That makes sense.
I guess, but how do you know they're going to actually catch the ball? Everybody's human. Like,
Don't you think you'd rather take the risk of like 1 out versus 2?
True.
I mean, duh. So I don't know why I asked the question.
No, I would not.
Pretty self-explanatory.
But yes, that's interesting. Okay, well, I kind of learned something new today. Jeff says, name an established sport that has ever shortened its season. Well, yeah, no one has ever shortened their season. The NBA and the NBA is talking about shortening their season by like 5 games.
Jeff, change is okay.
It's true.
Yep.
I've heard teams that have lengthened their seasons, or like leagues that have lengthened their seasons, which I think is ridiculous.
In the AHL, all the California teams get to play less games than anybody else does.
Why? From a travel perspective, or what?
That's what I thought it was, but so many teams have moved out west that I don't know what the reasoning is behind it. But yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, we play like 38 home games, and they play like 34. Something like that.
No, I did not realize that. Nobody wants to take a pay cut at the end of the day. That's why. Everybody likes money. People are greedy. That's why nothing will ever get shortened, which is what really bothers me.
Yeah.
Because you would get more fans. I feel like there would arguably be more money around because people would be like, oh my gosh, I only have 35 times to watch my favorite baseball team play all season long. Here's my money. You can get away with putting up higher ticket prices because that's why NFL games are so expensive, because you only get to see the sample size of 16 times a year. 8 if you want to go to home games.
Yeah, I think NFL tickets are pretty pretty reasonably priced for the fact that there isn't
Suppose.
160 of them to go to.
Exactly. Can you imagine going to 162 NFL
No.
games? I can go to a Brewers game for $6.
I also don't understand why people, I'm going to feel like I'm going to have to bite my tongue, would become like a baseball season ticket holder because you're not going, like, unless you have like super, super great seats, right? Like you're right behind the dugout, or what's that Brewers chick with the big boobs that's on the TV all the time?
Oh, I don't know. I don't honestly know. I know people that know who she is. She's got her own Facebook page. So
Yeah, I saw
I don't know who she is.
Kelly, or I don't know what her name
Like
is. But,
Diamond Girl Kelly or something. I don't know.
I just don't see it. You're not making it to 162. You're not even making it to 100. Well, okay, obviously there's not that many home games, but everyone catches my
But
drift.
still, 82 home games or something like that. Or
Right,
81
you're not
home
even
games.
making it to
Something
50.
ridiculous.
If you have 50 free nights in the summer to sit at Miller Park,
No. I'm going kayaking down the Wisconsin River. I'm going on a brewery tour. I'm visiting
Yeah.
family in Florida.
that
I'm
would
not
be
gonna
a
sit in the stands.
miserable way to spend.
That's why
50
people
nights.
literally front row Amy.
Ah,
That's who she is.
thank
you. Spencer, Brew, you guys are the best. Front row Amy.
Amy Kelly, they sound the same.
Oh my God. Do they? Maybe we should have front row Amy on the show. That would be a great way for the viewership just to go be like, sit right here, wear what you normally wear, put us all to shame. Well done, front row Amy. Like, seriously though, like that's how boring baseball is, because you have to get more concerned about the girl with big boobs behind home plate than the fact that, this guy's trying to hit through the cycle. Nobody cares about that. They want to see the girl with big boobs that occasionally gets flashed on national TV. It's like, front row Amy. It's like, no. Like, she's got her own Facebook page because she's got big boobs and sits in the front row. How desperate are we to like baseball?
Way
That's
to go,
a good
Amy.
indication.
Way to go. You
Oh
go, girl.
my gosh. Jamie's like, women's rights.
Yeah,
like women's
you
power.
let them suckers hang.
Yeah, no. I have not been to a Brewers game in 2 years. I used to go 5 or 6 times a year, and I literally have had zero desire to go the last 2 years. There's no reason for it.
But it's just like, it's a time you meet your friends together.
I'd rather have people to my house and drink tequila and make tacos and play games on my living room floor. That's what I'd rather do.
Yeah.
And then maybe have a Brewers game on in the background, but I don't have cable, so I'm not going to pay for that crap.
I don't know. I just feel like it's a whole thing.
Yeah. Sarah says, I'm in. If you guys want to sponsor me, I will sacrifice my summer to go to every home game and report back.
I thought we were going a different direction with that.
Front row Sarah? Is
Yeah.
that what we were going with?
That's what I thought.
Bruce says basketball has a whole halftime show with girls with big boobs. Well, yeah, and so does the NFL. It's called
Yeah,
the
and
Dallas
I
Cowboy
think that-
Cheerleaders.
And I think that NBA and NFL cheerleaders are dumb.
They really are.
I know I need to come up with a different word than dumb, but it's overrated. If I was the people, because they sit in, when you go to the Bradley Center,
Yes.
their cheerleaders stand on these platforms, like in the corners of the arena. And
Oh, I've seen this, yeah.
if they were in front of my seats, I would lose my mind. Like, get out of the way. I would lose it. Find a new place to stand. I'm trying to watch game.
Take your boobs, go over
Yeah.
there.
I don't get it.
It's a distraction. That's
Just
another
move,
reason, because
please.
sports apparently are still not as engaging. We need hot women with skimpy shirts with low-cut things with big boobs to be like, oh wow, football. It's like, you're not even here for you're not here for the right type of a ball. You're here for these round sort
Yeah.
of things. Like, calm down.
And I mean, there's like ice girls and stuff in hockey too, but for the most part, they're clothed.
You have to
unless
be.
you go to Chicago, and then they're not.
Don't be like Chicago.
Yeah, but I just don't understand.
It really is frustrating when you really break it down. Like I said, I think it all ties into the narrative that baseball as a whole is dying, that literally people care more about front row Amy than they do the game going on.
Didn't the Brewers try, and maybe I'm making this up in my head so someone can correct me, didn't they try to have cheerleaders?
Well, the Diamond Dancers,
Are they still a thing?
I think they still are.
Oh. Oops. Sorry.
Let me see. Front row Amy has her own website.
A
And
website.
She has her own website, and she has her own Facebook page. I'm trying to see here if I can find some hot information about Front Row Amy. Apparently, well, she must have gotten rid of her Facebook page, but literally, oh my God, seriously, like you literally go to her website and it's just every possible picture that you can of her just being like, look at me. Like, yeah. Sitting in her, some of them are baseball pictures, and the everything else is like, look at me sitting on my boat. Look at me with my huge boobs. Look at me with my butt. Like, you can purchase her tickets. Questions? Contact me. She has a store. Choose your words. What?
No, she does
Oh, it's stuff like, okay, no, she doesn't really have a star. I'm Amy and I belong to the Church of Baseball. Oh my God, really? This is what she says? I believe in passion and positivity. Yeah, I'm sure you do. I believe in the perfectly executed squeeze. I'm sure you do. I believe in sexy curveballs that buckle at batters' knees and melt my heart. Yeah, we're on a whole nother level now here, Amy. I believe in supporting the players I love even when they're struggling. Mm-hmm. I believe that baseball players are superheroes. I believe that Miller Park is a sanctuary where prayers can be answered, or if they're not, consolation can be found. Yes, you're trying to be the consolation, Amy. Like, she's got a pretty face, but literally, it's because she has big boobs. Literally the only reason. Good Lord. What does this world come to? People have actually taken the time to write about her as well, too, on MLB.com and Deadspin and local news affiliates. Like, she has a press section because people literally write about her. This is so stupid. This is why baseball is not enjoyable, is because you have to promote someone with big boobs to actually get people to games.
I just looked up the Diamond Dancers, and the only thing I could find was a Facebook page called Save the Milwaukee Diamond Dancers from 2005, so I'm assuming they're extinct.
They must be. A couple of years ago, they were still going around.
Sarah, do you know if they are still shaking their tail feather
Maybe.
in Miller Park?
Robert says, I want to see a picture of Front Row Amy. Haha, can you post one? Just go to frontrowamy.com and you'll be more than satisfied if you're into that sort of thing. She has a blog. She says, what the heck? She doesn't have a store. What do you mean for tickets? Like, oh, you literally can
sit with her?
You can buy her tickets or you can sit with her. Wow, she wants 100. Wow, that's actually not terrible from a pricing perspective.
Do you get to sit with her?
I would assume so, because you literally can buy one ticket. Like, all these are just one ticket.
That is so weird. Ugh, I don't like that.
She's probably nasty.
Here, I'm a season ticket holder. Buy my one other ticket and you can sit with me. I don't like that.
This is what's wrong with America, ladies and gentlemen. Screw foreign policy. Front Row Amy is the problem. Yeah, and the fact that the Brewers even used Front Row Amy is also part of, like, the promotional, like, videos. Did she get her own bobblehead, too? I swear to you. Yes, there are Front Row Amy bobbleheads that were apparently given out last year, or that you can buy at certain AJ collectible places. My God. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. And then some people are, like, making fun of her as well, too. Like, there's, like, a guy that's, like, weird and awkward, and he's like, oh, showing some cleavage, hashtag Front Row Amy. He's, like, trying to be all, like, awkward. I don't know. This is seriously the problem with this world today. Is anybody excited about this? Is anybody happy about this? Like, I'm not. Are you?
No.
Do you want to be Front Row Jamie? Like,
No.
I don't think that's what the kind of publicity you want. I feel like you've got a lot of issues if you want to just be glorified because you have boobs. There's a lot of other industries you could be in aside from sitting in the front row if you want to just have people look at you for your boobs, okay? Never said the word boob so many times in my life, and literally, that's all we've talked about.
For the last.
And it's not even like, they're not even good boobs. They're fake. Anyway. Jeff says it's just the 5 minutes of fame syndrome. I do agree. Sarah says...
It's been a long 5 minutes, though.
Well, yeah, it has. She's been going on for years. I found out about her a couple years ago. I went to a Brewers game and somebody was like, oh, did you see Front Row Amy's here? I'm like, who's Front Row Amy? And he's like, oh, that girl over there. And I was like...
That thing with that massive rack.
It's like, oh... Yeah. Sarah says, but I'm usually too... She says, I don't think there's still a thing, the Diamond Dancers here, but I'm usually too busy watching baseball to notice.
Oh, okay, girl.
The game, literally, it's in between. They would dance in between games, and then they would get on the dugout
Yeah, and then
dance.
Sarah's probably walking to the beer stand and getting a beer. If I know Sarah.
Atta girl, Sarah. Sarah seems like a fun gal.
She is fun.
Maybe we should get her on the show.
Sarah, you want to come on?
Come on, Sarah. Front row, Sarah.
Front row, Sarah. You can wear a turtleneck if you want.
Unbelievable. That's what's wrong with baseball, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody has any sort of hesitation of why baseball is dying, it's because they are too busy trying to promote the front row whores.
She might be a really nice girl.
I'm sure she's a nice lady, but honestly, though, like, really, can you honestly look me in the face and say if she was a flat-chested woman with a pretty face, we would still be having this conversation?
Maybe she got a bad ass.
You can't see it in the front row. It's not like she's got it up on the dugout just being like, hey, boys. Like, she's sitting in her seat watching the game.
She could, like, bend over to get, oops.
This isn't Nicki Minaj. Like, it's not, it'd have to literally be that proportion for people to actually be like, oh.
True. Yeah, no, we probably wouldn't talk about
And it should be like backseat Amy. She wouldn't be front row. Like, it's done. So done. Robert says, I'm super excited to heckle her when I go when I go to visit. Yeah, go heckle her. Buy one of those tickets, Robert, so you can sit by her and just heckle her the entire time. It's like $99 to sit next to her.
That's not so bad.
No, it's decent for like a right behind home plate, but like I feel like that comes with a lot of different things. I just don't think I'd be about it.
No.
Really don't.
Me either.
And maybe she'll come and find us and heckle me, and she'll be like, how dare you? We'll be like, yeah.
We'll be in her press section.
Yes, maybe we'll finally get some press.
This is our breaking.
I'm apparently all about exposing people and all that fun stuff. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I helped tell the world who J.J. Watt's girlfriend was a couple of months ago, and people lost their damn minds. I literally was famous for 24 hours because TMZ picked up the story and the New York Post and everybody, just because
Look at you.
We had J.J. Watt's girlfriend on a soccer show that I do, which is on Brew Sports, 2 up front, and we talked about soccer for 99% of the interview, and the very last thing we asked, the non-soccer thing, we asked, like, hey, we heard there's rumors that you and J.J. Watt might be dating. Do you care to comment on that? And she's like, yeah, we are. I'm like, oh, cool.
I would be like, you lucky son of a.
It's like, good for you. Like, that's awesome. Thanks so much. And like, we clarified with her after we got off the air too. And she's like, yeah, no, don't you know, we're like, we didn't mean to ask you if it was personal. Like, no, like, it's totally fine.
Oh, nice.
Like, she's like, yeah, totally great. Then we got like reprimanded basically by the team that she plays for, being like, don't ever ask personal questions again. I'm like, guys, like, she said it was totally fine. And my co-host Simon saw her a couple of weeks later, and they talked, and they were like, oh yeah, it's totally fine. Like, I'm not mad. Like, I'm glad you said it, because we're starting to tell people anyway, so why not have it here? And then literally a couple of weeks later, like, Houston radio stations and newspapers and TMZ and people were all picking it up, and then Yahoo Sports just brought it back again a couple of days ago, and I'm just like, why? This will never die.
Because they're so perfect, apparently.
They're freaking adorable.
No, you and Liz are freaking adorable.
You're adorable. Stop.
Me and Harold.
I love Harold. I think you should marry somebody named Harold.
I do have a like trend of dating people with stupid names, so just keep it going.
The last one was a real winner, by the way. You should be proud.
Speaking of past, should we go into our throwback?
Yeah, Throwback Thursday. I have a video I want to show for Throwback Thursday.
Is it of Tanner in 2011?
Oh, my Lord. Ian says, yes, press. Talking about front row Amy. Robert says, that's not a bad thing to sit. It's not bad to sit behind home plate. It's true. That's wicked awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, really, if you're into that sort of thing, huzzah, good for you. But seriously, though, super annoying. Front row Amy needs to go away. My video is deciding to not work. So if you have something, oh, wait. That's still not fully working. So maybe you should go first for Throwback Thursday while this thing decides to try to figure itself out.
4 years ago, I was at Big Bear Mountain.
So that's Big Bear Mountain.
It's in California.
Sounds like a bear of a time.
Ooh, I'm mean in some of these. I'm not even going to read them. Oh, I used to have gauged ears.
Really?
So, yeah, so I was stretching them 5 years ago.
Whoa.
Stretching your ears is painful. # why am I doing this to myself? But I didn't know how to do it correctly at first, so that was...
Gauged ears.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Let's see here. I do have a video I want to pull up if this is going to actually load.
Oh, we were talking about boobs, and I tweeted out, I wish I could contribute to National Cleavage Day.
Is today National Cleavage Day?
I don't know.
It must
5
be.
years ago it said it was.
Somebody get an intern on that. Is today, since we've been talking about boobs with front row Amy.
That's funny.
National, I don't even know how to spell cleavage. C-L-E, cleavage, I don't know. I'm going to just guess and see if Google wants to. Today is National Cleavage Day. Yeah, March 30th is National Cleavage Day.
You're welcome, everybody. You heard it here first.
Somebody had a promotion that says, we are busting with pride in honor of National Cleavage Day. Celebrate with us. And it's literally a picture of like someone with boobs and like some yummy sundae. Good God, the things we talk about and look up. Anyway, I'm going to go in a entirely different direction. You know how like you see those things on social media that are like strange videos or like machines doing things and you're like, whoa, like that's mesmerizing kind of a thing?
Yeah.
So 5 years ago, I'll play the video for you here. But like, this is a very unique and fun way to peel apples. And I posted this 5 years ago where you take a drill, put the apple on it, and then you turn it and you literally just peel the apple. Because, you know, peeling apples takes a long time.
Is he using a peeler?
Yeah, he's got a peeler in his left hand, and then he's spinning the apple on a drill.
Okay, these contacts must not work because I can't see what he's using.
Yeah, he's using a drill, and he's using a peeler in the other hand to just I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. I used to like those things that you like suction them to your table, stick the
Sure.
talking about?
And this was kind of like a more sped up version of something like that,
Yeah.
basically. And I think that's a really cool idea, personally. I don't peel a lot of apples anymore because we don't have a lot of apple pies that we make at home anymore. But when we would make apple crisp, that would be the thing. Yeah, like the little crank.
homemade apple crisp.
Oh, yeah. My mom is the best. Love you, Mom. What?
Nothing. I love apple crisp.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else good from a throwback perspective, honestly. We should probably look up what this day in sports history, though, too.
We
That's
should.
usually what we do on a Throwback Thursday. So you can kind of tell today's show has just been kind of all over the place. We spent far too long talking about baseball and far too long talking about boobs. On this day, it's a great day, though. It really is. Like I'm thoroughly enjoying the show.
My dad texted me a little bit ago and told me I look tired and I need coffee, so that was nice of him.
Yes, thank you, Father.
He said, open your eyes and drink some coffee. Thanks, Dad.
Today's famous birthdays. Today's Vincent van Gogh's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Eric Clapton's birthday today. And Celine Dion's birthday today as well, too. Tomorrow's a good day. Tomorrow is Johann Sebastian Bach's birthday.
Ooh.
So if you're all about that Bach business.
Whatever website I use to look up on this day talks about cricket a lot, and I know nothing about cricket. So
Is it
I
on
never...
thisday.com?
Yeah. Cricket. Test cricket debut. 1954.
1916, the Stanley Cup. The Montreal Canadiens beat the Portland Rosebuds 3-2. Good for them. I prefer, it's so hard to be on this day in sports history when there's usually better things in the world
History
as a whole.
one?
Yeah, history as a whole.
The second NCAA men's basketball championship, Indiana U beats Kansas 60-42.
Tomorrow's famous deaths include Isaac Newton and Jesse Owens.
R.I.P. Pour one out for your homies.
Pour one out for Jesse. Isaac Newton and Johann Sebastian Bach being born and dying all on the same day. Huzzah. Good for them. Very excited for them. Did you know back in 1987, Vincent van Gogh's Sunflowers sold for $39 million? Just because somebody thought it was worth the money.
Art is insane.
Art is ridiculously insane. Do you have a yes drama today?
Okay, I did, but I lost internet connection about a half hour ago. So I forgot what it was.
I've got a yes drama.
I'm ready for it.
Oh, okay. It's ready?
I'm ready.
We got to work on this whole back and forth communication sort of thing. Anyway, so my yes drama of the day, for those of you that haven't heard, according to TMZ Sports, Adrian Peterson has been reportedly working out with Jameis Winston and a couple other guys from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this begs the question, is Tampa Bay going to make a move for Adrian Peterson? And how does that affect Doug Martin as the running back as well, too? And is Tampa actually a Super Bowl contender? And I think this is a little dramatic because we need to stop reading into situations like this too much just because somebody posted a picture on social media with some of their homies. Like, Adrian Peterson's also worked out with Kobe and Michael Jordan, but no one's like, he's going to the NBA. Like,
right.
Easy does it, guys. I think people is a little true. People are looking for the story. People want answers with Adrian Peterson, but people need to calm down. So that's my hashtag guest drama for the day.
I had a good one, too.
Did you see the one about Jay Cutler's butt?
No.
If you haven't seen Jay Cutler's butt, like he's been making the rounds?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
So Jay Cutler's wife, Chrissy Teigen, or whoever, I think it's
Jay Cutler?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Kristen Cavallari.
Whatever. Kristen Cavallari. I don't even know what she looks like.
She's from Laguna Beach.
That doesn't help me.
Oh. You watched The Bachelor and you didn't watch Laguna Beach?
Correct.
Oh, Baxter.
Kristen Cavallari. Oh, she's from the Hills. She was in Miss Universe 2014. Yeah, she's pretty. Anyway, so she posted a picture of the Cutler family. They must be vacationing somewhere exotic, and there's a picture of Jay standing out like on a dock, butt-ass naked. And it's a back shot of him, so thankfully you just see the peaches. And he's just literally standing off in the distance, wearing a watch, which is strange because I usually don't walk around naked with a watch on. But anyway, staring off, and she posted it to social media, and people have lost their minds.
Is it a cute hiney?
I've only seen the emojied over versions of it. I have yet to see the full.
I will let everybody know.
From a hiney perspective, I mean, and that's the thing too, because people read into this. They were like, "Well, Jay Cutler's retiring because he's letting his wife post pictures of him nude, and he obviously doesn't care about his public image anymore. So he's probably taking his $100 million and." I mean, he's a professional athlete, so he works out.
Got a little butt crack. It's like short.
It's a strange butt. Looks like a hairy butt. I don't know. I guess I've never seen enough. Yeah, and the caption says, "Good times, no tan lines. Let the sea set you free." He has tan lines, Kristen. Do you not? Can you not see the tan lines?
I mean, I would take a small butt crack for his paycheck and being his wife, but I'm just saying, it's a small butt crack.
There you go. Add it to the list of things Jaymee does not want in her future husband. You are not allowed to have a small butt crack, apparently. Where are we going? Honestly, I just don't even know what's going on. Robert says Tegan is married to the legend John Legend. That's a little repetitive, but I get what you're saying. Casey says Anchorman quote. Oh, Baxter. What Anchorman quote? I don't even know what's going on.
Baxter's the dog in Anchorman.
Yes, I know that, but apparently it was something maybe you said. I don't know. I have no idea.
That was intended.
Brew says, woohoo, celebrating with Amy. Oh, because it's National Cleavage Day. Yes, support your local national cleavage, apparently, folks. I don't know. Breast Cancer Awareness Cleavage Day. Like, how is it okay to talk about breast cancer? We're still talking about boobs, but you can't talk about National Cleavage Day. I get it. Breast cancer is totally different, but like...
Wait, can't we talk about boobs?
Well, like...
We can talk about boobs. We can do whatever we want. Boobs. This is Facebook Live.
It is. Amazingly, we are still going strong. I don't know. I just want to say that we have the best viewers because they put up with us for this entire day. We've talked about all sorts of things. We've talked about baseball. We've talked about boobs. We've talked about Jay Cutler's butt. We've talked about anything else relevant?
With a B? Couldn't think of it.
Anything else with the boobs? We talked about the Buccaneers.
Nah.
What else did we talk?
Baseball.
We talked to Brennan.
We did.
Is it B Thursdays today? I don't know. I'm Baxter. You're not here. Nothing.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I don't know what else it could be from a B perspective that we talked about today. I don't know
Either.
But
you should be here tomorrow.
You should be when we come back, and Lord willing, we maybe sound a little bit more intelligent tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe we get some more sleep.
Maybe we get some more sleep, but honestly, I just want to take a moment to thank my amazing wife for an incredible dinner last night, and she had a couple of us, like I got invited to my own house. Thank you. We had a couple of the Brew Sports people over last night, and it was just an absolutely incredible event, and I just want to thank my wife for her hard work for not only getting the house ready, but for making the food as well, too. So, sweetie, I love you. Thank you very much for doing that. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was fun.
A lot of fun. Good times. Tanner Burke is calling in sick today because he's probably still hungover because he doesn't know when to stop. But, yeah, what are you going to do? Love Tanner. We got to get some 2011 Tanner pictures up.
We'll get them.
Maybe we should just have a roast. He never watches the morning show, so one of these days we should just roast Tanner for an hour.
I'm in.
And he never would know because he never watches because he's sleeping because he's like, that's too early.
I'm in.
If you have ideas for us to help us roast Tanner Burke, hit us up here on the comment section. Send us messages on Twitter at Baxter Colburn, at Jamie_Evers, at BrewSportsNet, hashtag BrewSports. Follow us on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit the gram. Everybody loves that gram. Kind of like hitting the Quan, but a little bit more classy if you hit the gram. Do you know how to hit the Quan?
No, what is it?
I used to not hit the Quan. Now I'm forgetting, honestly. It's been such a long time.
Is the one where your hand's in the air?
Well, I think that's when that's whip
That's
and
a whip.
I know.
Oh,
like
okay.
nay-nay. I forget how to hit the Quan. It's been a long time. I'm gonna have to listen to the song once we get off the air.
I'm from
but
Sheboygan. I don't know how to do those things.
did you have any like Sheboygan-y dances?
No.
No? The Sheboygan Shuffle?
No.
The Sheboygan Shimmy? No. The Sheboygan? I don't even know what a Sheboygan is, but all right, Jaymee. Well, this has been a pleasure. Let's do it again tomorrow. Same time, same place,
Sounds
same craziness. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Look at Baxter's sweatshirt. Just real quick. Whoop, whoop. Sorry, I had to get that in there. I'm so proud of him. He doesn't even like hockey. There it is.
It was a gift. All right, guys. We love you all so much. Thank you for putting up with us. We'll see you guys back here again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you here for Brew Sports content. Coming up next, I believe, is halftime with myself and Tanner Burke. So stay tuned for the craziness that will ensue with that. Enjoy your Thursday. We'll see you next time.